Hi everyone, welcome to Tech Tutorials. I'm Thomas and this is session 15 of Azure Data Factory tutorial 2. So in this session we are going to cover what is if condition activity in Azure Data Factory and its properties and functionalities. So guys, before that please do like and subscribe my channel. Thank you, and let's begin the tutorial. So the topic is like if condition activity, and by name itself it states that it's a logical condition which helps us to drive conditions to be true or false. So we have seen this in many programming languages as well. So now we can see how it's applicable in the Azure pipelines, Azure Data Factory pipelines. So now let's switch back to our Azure portal. Okay, so let me just show you like how to use this and what is the use case. So what we have to do, as we know, we have a folder which contains our source files, right? If you have not seen this, please do go and watch my previous videos where I have covered like how to create containers and folder structures to start a project. Click on source. Okay, so we have these files which are there in our source folder, that is customer, product, translation and vendor. Okay, so now what we are going to do is we are going to read all these files through metadata, and through if conditions we will try to pick only the customer data file. Okay, so this is just a use case that can come. So there might be a different use case that can we can think of with if condition as well, but just to show you the example, I am taking this an example. We will crawl through all these files. Okay, and through if condition we will decide whether it's like a product file, transaction file or vendor file, because we will be rejecting these three files and we will only be picking up the customer file. Okay, so with that let's go to the ADF. Let me create a new pipeline and give it a name. Okay, now simply take a metadata activity. Okay, read the files, and we can provide the same dataset name which we have given in the previous video, that is ps data store, and it will ask for us the details, that is folder name will be source and file name will be asterisk.xlx file. We are trying to pull all the files, and then we will click on this. Over here we are going to check the property, that is child items, because we want to iterate through all the files, right? Let's click on this and then pull out a for each activity. Keep it here, join it, and then over here you just write read all files. Okay, and then go to settings. Over here just put it sequential for now, and then over here the items just click add dynamic content, and then scroll down and look out for your get metadata activity output. Click on that, then simply pull the property that we need, that is dot child items. Okay, and then click OK. And once this is done, we will go and see the activity. So activity would be the same thing, either we can go from here or we can directly click on the container or the activity and we can get it. Okay, let's click over here and see. Okay, so we are now inside the for each container or for each activity, and now let's see what we can do over here. Let's take a if condition. Okay, let's bring it here, and now let's see what we can do. Click over here, add dynamic content, and select dot name. So this is the property that we can use within the for each activity, which will help us to give the file name within that iteration. Okay, so now what I will do, I will say there is a contain property or function that we can use, which comes under like collection functions. Let's take this and put our file name into that, and then simply look out for the text as customer, like we have been doing this in other logics as well, right? Like other programming languages, and in different places we used to do this contain function. So in a similar way we can use this in Azure Data Factory using add dynamic content property of the ADF. Okay, so let me just write as customer. Okay, that's it. So in this file name, if it finds customer, then only it will go into the boolean true, else it will go into the false. Okay, so we have given this value, and then let's click on OK. And now over here, let's pull out a wait condition. So you might be wondering now why we are pulling the wait condition. Okay, so let first, before that, let's get into the true condition, and then let's pull out a wait condition. And then let's go back once again and click on the false branch and grab one more wait condition and put it over here. Okay, so we have taken two wait conditions, and one we have placed into the for and another one we have placed into the if, into the else. Okay, so the reason why we are doing this is in order to test whether, due to our if condition, whether our logic is flowing into true branch or it is flowing into the false branch. Okay, we could have taken any other activity, but the wait activity is the simplest activity if we are doing a type of testing, because in wait activity we don't have to give any sort of like a connection managers or the linked services or the data sets. Okay, so that's the main reason, that's why we are just pulling it for testing purpose. Okay, so that's it. And now let's go, so let's see whether we get any type of errors, because sometimes we might get some errors, and that could be because of the way that we have given the expressions in the dynamic content, or like small issues can be there. Okay, but that can be figured out with the error message that we get in the output. Okay, so now let's go ahead and trigger it. And if you want to validate your pipeline, that also you can do before triggering. So just you can validate and then trigger. Let's see, I have clicked on run. Let's see what happens. Great. So let's see if it is completed. Yeah, it's completed. Now you can see this is the like output. So you can see it has read all the files. Now in the first if condition, okay, the first one went into wait one, so that means the first file. Let's click on this metadata and see what is the first file in the array. In the child list array, what is the first file showing? That is customer data, then the product data, then the transaction, and the vendor. So these files or these file names will be passed into the for each one by one. Okay, and when it goes into the for each, then first one will be our customer file, right? So which is actually something that we have given our true condition. So immediately that will go into the wait one. With this if condition, it will go into the wait one. So our wait one falls under true conditions. So if I click on this true, you will see my wait one is in the true condition and my wait two is in the false condition. Okay, and if you click back and if you are back to the output screen again, then you watch, after the first execution we are going to run, this is the first execution. After first execution we are going to run the second execution, that is if condition is going to check the transaction file with the condition that we have given. So see, instead of going into true branch, it is going into the false branch. That's the reason it's showing as wait 2. Okay, similarly the third file and similarly the fourth file, all files starting from second to fourth is going into the false branch, due to the fact that those files are not having the name or text as customer. Okay, so I think you guys are like now clear with the functionality of if condition. So there could be a different scenario that you can think of in your project scenarios, and but I think that has been clear now in this video. And do let me know if you guys have any questions on this component, and I am more than happy to help you on that. Okay, so that's it for this session, and guys, please do like and subscribe my channel, and have a great day ahead. Thank you.